The Assyrian king, who had already raised up a vast army, has now reached the center place of God's covenant people. This man is the axe and the saw in God's hand of justice. If the servant of Christ is God's right hand, this man is God's left. As he's wholly without mercy, God will use him to cleanse the earth of many of the wicked, for the wicked shall destroy the wicked. The Assyrian army has already conquered a lot of people, but now it sets its sights on the heartland of the mountain of the Lord. As Isaiah says, the Lord is now sending him against a hypocritical nation to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. In his march across the continent, the Assyrian is now focusing his might on spiritual Judah, or on the land of the people of the baptismal covenant. Of course, many of these people have by now apostatized. These are the people who chose not to follow God's anointed prophet. In fact, these are those who marred God's servant and began following false prophets. Much of this happened in ancient Israel, but now Isaiah is using this as a type of things to come in the last days. Because of this people's apostasy, God will give power to the Assyrian to tread them down like the mire of the streets. But of course, this Assyrian won't know that he's fulfilling God's will. His desire will be simply to destroy and cut off nations, not a few. In verse 8, he says his princes are as great as kings, and he lists some great cities he's already conquered, including Calno, which may have been the site of the Tower of Babel. He's basically saying that he'll make these cities of Judah as desolate as his other conquests have become. In verses 10 and 11, he says that just as he's founded or conquered other kingdoms whose idols surpass those of Samaria or Israel, so will he do to this people. And then the Lord gets specific. He says, "Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and upon Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks." This is the Lord doing this. He's working through this wicked tyrant. He's also saying that this work involves humbling a hypocritical nation in Mount Zion and upon Jerusalem. This humbling work will end in almost total destruction. The Lord also says that when this work is done, he'll punish the stout heart or the arrogance of the king of Assyria. After the Lord has allowed the wicked to destroy the wicked, he will then punish the wicked who have done this. The Assyrian, who appears to be the beast in Revelation, boasts that when he moved the borders of the people and robbed their treasures, nobody said a word. Amazingly, he's so powerful that he intimidates entire nations into silent submission. As Isaiah says, nobody even opened the mouth. However, when this work is done, the Lord will humble this man, sending a leanness among his fat ones, and a fire to destroy his army in that part of the land. In chapter 37, Isaiah shows us a type of this when the Lord killed 185,000 soldiers of the Assyrian army in a single night. The burning by which the Lord did this was probably a rampant illness. But again, this is all orchestrated by the Holy One, the Lord himself, who shall burn and devour his thorns and briars in one day. In the last days, the Lord's servant will likewise slay the wicked and smite the earth by the breath of his lips. And when he does so, the rest of the trees of the Assyrian's forest, or the rest of his soldiers, shall be few. But of course, the Assyrian king has more than one army in more than one land, and those armies will be strengthened and go forth to devastate the world in terrible violence, as we shall see. But at this point in Isaiah's timeline for the last days, the Assyrian army will march upon the covenant people who have turned away from the Lord and his servant, and will humble them and make their land desolate. Next time, we'll see the righteous who are escaped of the house of Jacob, and no more stay upon him who smote them. I'm Curtis Taylor with the words of Isaiah.